Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Zach Pack. Today I'm working on my 2005 LLY Duramax. It's a GMC 2500 diesel motor. I bought it off an individual who got it from Texas. So as many of you know, that Texas doesn't get too cold. And I went to go flip on the heat shortly after I bought it. I didn't even think of checking the heat. I checked the AC because it was hot at the time, and I thought, I just assumed. I've never ran into too many heating issues in clogged heater cores, so I wasn't concerned. But I freaked out when the heat wasn't working. I was like, great, I'm gonna be doing a heater core. So I jumped out, looked under the hood, and I was gonna do the feel for the hot and cold on the lines going in and out. And I discovered something, so I'm going to show you what I discovered. So at first glance, I was like, well, what in the hell? That don't look right. So I was like, great, maybe the heater core is bad. And I see this hose all, connected all weird, like, oh, they bypassed it, obviously. Well, it turns out in Texas, heat isn't really a requirement. So that got me to thinking, well, maybe I should dig into this some more. It's probably just a fitting that's broke after looking at it and inspecting it closer. So sure enough, one of these was still on there. I went to wiggle the other one and it completely snapped on me. So these are must get real brittle over time and just junk out. And some guys will say put the heater hose directly on the core. Well, apparently some guys do that, and that's fine, but then you run the risk of tearing up your heater core if, say, you're trying to cut the hose off, or I don't know, I guess just cut the hose off. You don't want to mark it up and stuff, so these kind of protect you from that. So I was like, well, I want to do it right because I plan on keeping this truck. So yeah, I could do an easy fix. I actually have both hoses because this one was just from here to here, I believe, and this one went from here to there, and the other hose was still connected, but it broke off and I got it in the truck. So I got both hoses. So then I had to decide, okay, how am I going to find these parts? So I got on the old Google and started researching them, and I found a lot of black connectors. Didn't really find any white. So I hopped on a forum where guys were chatting it up about these part numbers, and I was able to find the part number for this. So I'm going to show you what I found. And I actually found a black one of these at Napa. I don't believe it. It's not, I know it's not an OEM one, but the one I got over here is an OEM one. And as you can see, there's two different sizes. So I don't know if that helps with pressure and backflow or whatever, but I'm gonna show you what I got. So here are the parts, guys. Sorry I'm a little stuffy. I got a bit of a head cold, but bear with me here. This is the Napa part. It's a 7305631. I'll try to put that link in the description, and this one as well. This one is the white plastic piece that you saw that was broke off, and it's actually a OEM GM that I got off eBay. I didn't know that it was going to be an OEM. I just got lucky, and I saw the tag that said Mexico. Actually, it might have said that it was an OEM, but I didn't care because it was 25 bucks, and I was like, I'm going with it, This one was 25. This one was like $11.99, I believe. And I couldn't find this one anywhere. A lot of them were like cross-referencing the two, but I noticed that this one was smaller when looking in the holes of the broken off pieces. This one was smaller, so I was like, I don't want to risk anything. I want to do this right. So I went ahead and got the right part. This one might be able to work for both sides. I don't think it might not affect anything. You still probably will have heat and no issues. But the OEM one, here's the part number for it, is 1503262, and I'll put the link in the description. I got this off eBay for $25.53. shipped to my door. And this one was $11.99 at my local Napa. Sorry about that. So now I got to figure out how to get them off. The guy at one of the auto parts stores said he cut his off with like a what is those? It's like a multi-tool. I can't think of the name. There's a common name for them, but anyways, it's like a utility knife with a saw blade on it. He said that he did that, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I don't want to mess those fittings up. I don't want to mess the metal up. All right, so I tried to use some tools that I had already to disconnect the heater hose connectors that are broke off on the truck, and didn't have any luck. The ones I had were way different. Just the way they operated, they didn't have this much plastic going into the fitting, so it wouldn't release. So I went to Napa, and there's a single one that they sell, but they didn't have it in stock, so the guy said this should work. So going off of online, there's a part, like I think on Amazon, that's like a little under $4 that looks about this size, that says it's for a heater disconnect tool or whatever. And this kit here comes with 6 fittings. So it was $12. I thought, you know, for $12 I can use this on a different job, whatever comes my way, because these are actually AC and fuel line disconnect tools. So probably get some good use out of them down the road. So I thought it was worth it. I've yet to try it out, so that's going to be the next video, is seeing which color works for my heater hose disconnect. And another thing I was going to note was, I'll put the link in the description for this kit. And what I was finding was, I think the newer kits, it's either the newer or the older ones, are all white. So the link I found was ones that were for all white. So they weren't color coordinated. So sorry about that, but it's going to be the same thing. And then I'm going to put another link for the Amazon disconnect tool that I had found online. The only problem about that is I don't have Prime, my wife does, and time I ask her to do it and all that, I thought I'd get it too late. I need it today, so I want to be able to have heat in the morning and defrost. So I went ahead and purchased this last night, and we're going to see if it works. Okay, so this is a piece that was still hanging on my truck, and I wiggled and it broke right off. The other one was already bypassed, so that's how I knew that it was going to be. Odds are I still haven't got my heater core plugged up to see if it's working, but I did run water through it and flushed it, and there was no leaks in the inside. So that's another thing to do, guys, is while you're doing this job, flush your heater core with a hose with high pressure. Well, I take that back, not real high pressure, but at least hose pressure with a nozzle. Go in both ports and flush it for like a minute. Make sure you get all that gunk and junk out of there. Mine had already been flushed. Apparently, I think the guy probably flushed it and then never got around to getting the fittings, the guy that I bought it off of. So you might end up with something like this. You're gonna take these clamps off. And the tool earlier I was talking about that some guys use to cut these out, well, I don't know if I said anything about earlier, but people call them Leathermans. Usually they go in like a little pouch pocket thing. This is like a multi-tool. So most Leathermans or tools like a Leatherman have this saw blade. So what we're gonna do is saw this out after I take this both clamps off with my pliers, or channel locks, I'm sorry. So that's what we're gonna do next. So I got it out, guys. I had to saw 2 sides. So I sawed down here and then up here, and pretty much cut that thing in 2, and then was able to pry it out really good. I'm pretty confident if I put this back on, it's gonna hold, it's gonna do its job. But something tells me to go ahead and just replace this hose. But if you guys are on a budget or kind of like don't fix it unless it's broke type, then go ahead and reuse your hose. But just saying, I might go ahead and if they got one in stock, I might just throw a new one on and be done with it. Okay, so I took my fittings, and I wanted to size up my fittings, so I popped that in there. And sorry, I'm trying to hold this and do it. That fit perfect, the orange one. So be the second one from the top, second largest, I guess. So what we're gonna do, all right, so I got my orange fitting on, and I got it all the way pressed. You're gonna get it on there and rotate this until you find the right groove, because there's a certain groove you gotta about get in on this. It's kind of squared on the back. So rotate this around until you start. Once you get one side pushed in, go on the top side and push it in. And that needs to be flush with the back of this, and then you just wiggle. And it comes right off. So make sure if you're wanting to stay color coordinated, you put the white on last. I'm gonna take the black one on and then put it back, the new one. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do the black one here. And it's definitely hard to record for you guys too. Okay, that's a good angle. So you want pop it over and pull it. This is where I'm talking about rotating it. So it did want to go in there. I'll rotate it around to the likes spot. Okay, so I got the bottom in. Now I got both tabs in. Just gonna wiggle this off. Or rotate it off. Okay. So we got both off. Great, guys. This tool is definitely worth it. Don't I would say don't scamp out. Let's go ahead and buy it. So the black one, or where the black fitting was, I wanted to compare. This heater hose is just in the way, or AC line is just in the way. I want to compare. It does appear that they are 2 different sizes, so I would definitely buy the white connector. And I'm gonna pop this. Oh, just roll down in there. So here's a comparison for you from the Napa part. And it just looks a little different because this one's well used, but appear to be the same. So I'll pop this on. Just push it on. Hopefully it goes. Okay, so I got a little update for you. I got both back on. They just pushed on. The white on the right and the black on the left. But guess what, guys? I found out. So this Napa part, 7305631, actually works for both sides. This was $25 and this was $11.99 at Napa. So I could save you some money if you would just listen to me on this part. I actually tried it over here and then used the tool to remove it. It works on both sides. So save you some money. You could have 2 of them for the price of 1 pretty much, because that's what I paid, was $25 for this, and this I paid $11.99. So you could have both of them for around 25 bucks and some change. So after tax and everything. So I'm going to probably look at my hoses again. I might buy some new ones, but I'll give you a video of them all buttoned up and connected. Right now, this is how they had it bypassed. So that's a cool trick if you're out and about and need, well, you don't want to lose coolant because one of these breaks, you can just bypass the whole heater core. So, yep, I'll show a quick video of it all wrapped up, and hopefully I'll have some heat. Thanks for watching. Oh, another thing I was going to note on is if you did flush your heater core with hose water, you can, at this time, you can blow it out with a air compressor, but you do not want to put a lot of force on it because you don't want to blow the fins up in your heater core. So be smart about it. Use a little pressure, enough to make it come out one of the sides. Do it to both sides, but just flush it out good. Get that hose water out. All right, I got the fittings on and the hose is back on. I went ahead and used my old hose because an EGR delete is on the top of my list to do to this truck, and the kit comes with a different hose, so I didn't want to waste the money when this one's perfectly fine. So stay tuned to more how-tos on an LOY. Thanks for watching.